Welcome back to Auto Shorts and Decepti-Clips. Now, if you know me, you know that I love a good toy guide. And I was literally talking about different toy lines I'd love to see toy guides for. And following that conversation, went online that night and I found this publication, these books by a Mr. Wayne Shiner. Shiner? If I've butchered your name, then I apologise. So, yes, these guys. He has produced these toy guides. Now, not all these toy lines I give much of a damn about. Like Clash of Titans, a very small toy line. Even the Dungeons and Dragons, like Rambo, I'm not really into. Chuck Norris, I'm not into. The A-Team, hell yeah. This is one of the reasons why I wanted this book. The A-Team, Indiana Jones, the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, which isn't depicted on the cover. It was on the back. But yeah, sometimes the toy line might be hit and miss, but they are really well produced, if I'm honest. Although, as ever, but I'm not the one putting these together. I'm not the one having to triple check images left, right, and centre. But you do notice a few sort of mistakes and errors. For instance, this action figure of Little John is missing his tie cord across missing the belt, the tie belt, which I know it has because it used to have the toy. It's even pictured in the boxed version there. You can sort of slightly see it, and the boots on the image are the wrong way around. Like that's the peak there, so they're meant to face forwards like a boot. So that's a bit of a shame. This is the second edition of this book, so there probably has been some corrections made. So if there is a third one, I don't want to have to really buy the book because they're not cheap to get into the UK. They're worth it, but they are not cheap. But like with anything, you know, I will spot a few mistakes here and there that we have. And one thing I did love about the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves section is this page in particular. Now, hopefully, this is a precursor for them doing I think this is the Kenner Robocop toy line. There were two, and I can't remember what. It was like a weird toy company did the other one. Maybe the one with Captain Cash and Mudface or Pudding Face, whatever his name is. So hopefully this is a precursor for them to do that Robocop line in these books. And you can see that, you know, they cover quite a lot. It's not just pictures of the toys, which sometimes I might just prefer that, to be fair. I know a little description. See, this is quite cool. I remember seeing these many moons ago in a Toy Fair magazine going, oh man, I would love that. What? Who wouldn't want a Sean Connery toy? Never did a James Bond Sean Connery toy. At least not proper. There isn't some big fat collectible thing. The Chuck Norris toy line here. Again, not something I give a damn about the Karate Commandos, but it's very useful if you've got a tub of parts that you have no idea what they go for. So this gives you a good idea of what you could be getting in the book. Again, there's the Rambo toy line. Again, Wave 2, no Rambo toy. So I think only 2 variants of Rambo in this toy line. Well, it's not even that page. Yeah, those two there. Just the 2 versions, which these days, if it's a Batman toy line, you're getting at least 15 Batmans and 25 Spider-Mans in a Spider-Man or Batman toy line. But it's because of those 2 characters, that's why that happens. I really wanted to know more about these guys, because as a kid, I remember seeing these, and I remember seeing Amy in the stores, but I have no recollection of seeing the big versions of the bad guys. Well, we had all 4 of the men of the A-Team, big and small, and Hannibal for some reason always died. Hannibal always fell apart. Both size versions, Hannibal was always in many parts. We had the Face Corvette as well, and the A-Team van, which I think I just skipped past. Yeah, and they came with the same accessories anyway. So to be fair, when I was going through a whole load of toys and whatnot, I found these bits, and I think I discarded them because I did not know what they went with. So there we go. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. So yeah, fantastic little toy line. The A-Team, loved it, and it covers so much more of information about the toy line, how it's produced, and the ages that they were directed to, like interviews with some of the toy sculptors and so on and so forth. So it's not just pictures of the toys. This is the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's just the figurines section. Yeah, collectible figurines, and it covers bits and bobs from the cartoon as well, like the Dungeons and Dragons toy line being famous for not actually having the Dungeons and Dragons characters from the cartoon in the toy line. I think I think he's a toy. He's he's in the cartoon. He's in the cartoon. And Kalek, I think, is in the cartoon, and maybe somebody else. It does actually tell you in this book who's in it and who's not in it. If I can find the page quickly, or if I'm being an idiot. Yeah, so yeah, here we are. These guys are the ones that actually appear in the cartoon. And then we got these very disappointing Hasbro toys recently, where they don't really sit together very well, and there's filled with QC issues. And then Super 7 tried and then didn't care anymore. They did Sheila, they did Hank, they were too big, and they did the Shadow Demon and some skeleton dude, and that was it. That's all they did. That's all they did. And then that's book 1. Book 2, you can see it covers Tron again. Toyline not bothered about. June, Toyline not bothered about. Superpowers collection, like that. Do like that. Mask, hell yeah. Brave Star, there are so many like extra bits to Brave Star for a very small action figure toy line. A hell of a lot of like bases and other accessories and playing kits like the toy guns and stuff like that. And at the end you get the short-lived Galoob Next Generation toy line, because then Playmates took it over and made a vastly superior toy line. And I think, as with books, he covers so much cool Mask stuff, even like the 4th and 3rd series stuff, which wasn't the best. I don't know, 3rd series, this is series 3. Oh yeah, because series 2 would have been the Hurricane and that lot. So yeah, so Racing series is series 3 of the toys, with the series 4 being the laser blast thing and the Split Seconds. Split Seconds, rubbish, absolute rubbish toy line, and I don't care if people complain about that. And then when I look in through this book, and it's unfortunate, but again, I'm not the one piecing these pictures together. I'm not the one trying to triple check, double check, but it's unfortunate that it says Tethered Mask hides Drone Pilot, and there's no image of this bit being peeled back so you can see what's underneath. I have this toy, or had this toy. I'm not sure if this one's sold. Unfortunately, this is long missing. Sad times. But I kept all the figures and all the helmets. So yeah, there's no picture of this peeled back, unfortunately, in the book of Buzzard. It covers both versions of the mask. I think this one was in the Argentinian 2-pack, just when it's just the figures. I think it even covers that actually after here. So let me just quickly try and scoot there, so I don't want to bore you guys too much. Yeah, in the 2-packs, that's when the Collider style mask for the Mars Mayhem and Maximus Mayhem riders was in there. I think even pictures the Cliff Dagger Thunderball vehicle, and then the weird ramp up, which I think is not. I'm not going to be quick enough to find it. It's just hard. I know I've looked at these pages. No, I can't find one I want to see. Well, let's look at Brave Star. Now we've covered that bit, a little bit of Mask. See, not many action figures in Brave Star at all. You're looking, 6, 7, and then you've got guys like this. It's kind of like a vehicle transformery character, and then you've got 3030, which is a steed as well as sort of an action figure. I don't think the original toy did the transformation very well at all. And then you got some like prototype images or what they would have been inspired from. Again, what's good about these magazines, these prototypes here, is they covered the small toy lines. So there are so many of these books, including these guys that do G.I. Joe. I'm not going to get the G.I. Joe one because I've already got a G.I. Joe collector's book that covers the US toy line. And I'm getting the Action Force one with a guy on Kickstarter. He's doing an Action Force one, so the European side of things. I would like it if, like, let's say these guys and the Action Force guys come together and make one big book, and then also include any Indian specific characters that were released over there on license, and any South American ones that were released down there on license. So I would like a full 100% complete book of the 1980s to 1990s toy line that covers the world. I know it might be asking much, but you know, if we're buying these things and they're costing quite a bit of money, I like it. I like it fully complete. Like I said, I'm not going to get this one. Already got that one. And let's see, series. Oh yeah, book 3 I think is currently on Kickstarter and has been put through. So volume 3, we've got Voltron. Again, not too bothered about Voltron. Secret Wars, hell yeah, want some Secret Wars. Centurions, definitely. Karate Kid, yeah, I can take it or leave it. Silverhawks, again, take it or leave it. And Captain Power, don't know Captain Power. So this one's not a big hit for me, personally, but I'm still going to pick it up because of any of those weird and wonderful accessories you find in bins in and around like collectors marts or charity shops. So these guys are like brilliant for people like me that love like digging through tubs and stuff and putting toys and action figures together. So this is the Star Trek Next Generation storyline. Now, one thing that I, again, like with some of the bits missing from here. So this book, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, it covered the toys that were used for these guys. Now, I think it might have been wise to have put Prince of Thieves and this one in the same book. But I will say, when it comes to this toy line, it did kind of bother me that they, although they do mention international release, like the Riddler here, who was just the recolor of the Green Lantern, but they don't seem to cover the other international characters. Now, I know there was a toy release as the Abominable, and then there was 2 Superman recolors with different names that were released. So it's a shame that they didn't capture all of them, and I think that's a bit of a miss, and something that does kind of irk me some. And what I would have done, and now this is probably sacrilege to the collectors of this toy line, and I know it's going to be sacrilege because this toy line is quite coveted by its collectors, but what I would have liked, because I had them, is if they continued this section into a new section, to be fair, with the Toy Biz. I won't say the Toy Biz releases of those toys, but the Toy Biz versions of those toys, which were released in 1989 following the Batman movie. So you had the set of 3 from Batman, Batman, Bob, and the Joker, and then they did a continued toy line off the back of that one, which reused, or at least used, the same similar sculpts as these ones. They did a Mr. Freeze, which was a colour changing one. The original Superpowers one wasn't colour changing, but the Mr. Freeze from the Toy Biz line was colour changing, and they did a very different Lex Luthor, which is like a punch yourself in the face Lex. It's a terrible toy. I still would have liked it to have been a continuation of this section, and for this section to have included those foreign releases depicted in the same fashion as they've done with these guys, because I would have liked to have seen the side-by-side pictures of Superpowers and Toy Biz. Now, I hope that will appear in a future volume of these books, because that's the toy line I did have. Like, we only ever had the Superman from the Superpowers, and we obtained a found Batman from the Superpowers toy line, and all the others, like the Robin I had was the Toy Biz one, and the Penguin. We had the Penguin as well. We had the Penguin from that one. We did not have the Superpowers Penguin. We had Toy Biz version. And then they're doing book 4, which isn't on Kickstarter yet, I don't think. And that covers Battlestar Galactica from the 70s, Knight Rider, Black Star, real Ghostbusters, but not the Filmation Ghostbusters in the same book. I personally would have done the same, all in one book. Sectaurs, original toy line, Sky Commandos, don't care. And Aliens. Again, I would have preferred it if they did the Kenner Aliens, Predator, Terminator, and Beetlejuice all in one horror themed book. But that's just me. I'm still going to pick it up. Still going to pick up the volume 4 if it manages to get past all the Kickstarter things, and and enjoy the books going forward. Again, they're not without a few tiny little mistakes and errors and things that I would have done over it. But I'm not the one compiling these. I'm not the one collecting all these toys to put them in these books, to put them and then to double check all the photos. So I'm not, bashing the books completely, because at the end of the day, I love them. I love them. And I do love a toy guide. I've got a Dino Riders one, a Thundercats one, a very terrible, awful, bad Turtles one. So Pixel Dan's doing the Turtles one. Hopefully, both of his volumes do get funding. Like, volume 1 is obvious that it will get funding, but volume 2 is sort of the ropier end of the Turtles toy line. So we'll see how that one goes. I'll still want to get it, and I will still put money towards it. And Pixel Dan's Master of the Universe one, and they've done numerous Transformers ones as well. But again, the Transformers ones do not cover the European releases. Again, another I think a chap that unfortunately passed away. I think he went by the name Brycey. He was putting together these beautiful Transformers collector books, and Hasbro put the old cease and desist on it. Why? You're not selling those old toys anymore. Who cares? Some guys put together a beautiful book, amazing photos, and you've done a cease and desist because you're not getting some cut of the coin. You already made some coin on all those toys back in the 80s and the 90s. This guy's just taking photos of toys that he purchased. Sorry, toys that he purchased, Hasbro. And I know people go, oh no, they can't say this, can't say that. I don't care. I think at the end of the day, it's just a lovely book, lovely pair of books that was covering literally everything in the 80s up until the end of Generation 2. So not covering Beast Wars, so anything that was sort of Transformers into Transformers Generation 2. That's by the by. And that was those books, and me rambling on at the end. So don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and see you guys, girls, in the next video.